All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It's December 20th, about 9:30 Central Standard Time. Going to do a quick little rundown on Bitcoin chart, a couple things in the news. I'm not going to read the whole news article, just going to show you some headlines. Play a couple seconds of a couple videos, and then give you my opinion on why I think it's important that you stay the course, don't be flustered by a typical retracement after we've had a big run these last couple of weeks. But before I do the chart, I do want to go ahead and show you a couple of videos here. This is our LinkedIn channel. If you're interested, we do post and repost with opinion some of the key articles that we think are relevant and that are important. So you can go here and follow us at Trim Capital Partners. We just started the channel, and it's really just for us to share relevant news. We may end up sharing some of our portfolio information over time, but something you can look at there. So not going to really get into too much of that right now, but I do want to show you a couple videos here. One, let me find it here. Give me just here's one of them. This is from Chainlink, one of our favorite projects. Just want you to take a listen here at the founder.
The description. Want to build cross-chain apps in minutes instead of months? Check this out. We just dropped something huge. The CCIP SDK. Cross-chain development has never been this simple. You can build a full cross-chain application with just a few lines of code. No more wrestling with complex integrations. Need UI components? We've got you covered. These pre-built components are ready to drop into your app. And yes, they're fully customizable. Setting up supported tokens is as easy as adding them to a config file. Look how clean that is. When you're ready to build cross-chain apps, the CCIP SDK has your back. Check it out now in the link in the description.
All right, so that's a quick video on Chainlink and their, some information regarding their data feeds, etc. So keep that in mind before we close out the video. And then I also want you to listen to a Ripple video regarding, I guess, cross-border payments, their stable coin that they just released and got approved. So take a listen to this.
Ripple has always built products specifically for enterprises and financial institutions. Now, we're bringing that deep expertise to launch a stablecoin, built for businesses but accessible to everybody. For more than a decade, Ripple has been the industry leader in on-chain solutions for institutional finance. From the beginning, Ripple has always worked with global regulators, ensuring our solutions are compliant and adhere with local regulations wherever we decide to launch our products. We are well positioned to launch Ripple USD for several reasons. We're focused on the gold standard of compliance. RLUSD is issued in accordance with the New York State Department of Financial Services stablecoin guidance, which sets forth requirements designed to protect stablecoin holders. The requirements touch on the timely redemption of stablecoins, the safekeeping of stablecoin reserve assets, independent third-party attestations to verify the reserve. And Ripple USD is one of the few stablecoins that is fully regulated. Our regulators have stringent disclosure requirements, such as the publication of monthly attestations by an independent certified public accountant to verify the reserves backing the stablecoin. Monthly third-party attestations of the reserve ensure transparent reporting and reserve management. There will be clear redemption rights and other regulatory standards that are designed to protect holders. For over 10 years, Ripple has always chosen to work with and partner with regulators, policymakers, and financial institutions. Our partnerships with major banks and payment institutions bridge the gap between traditional finance and crypto solutions. These established relationships will bring the next wave of users and assets on-chain with Ripple USD.
All right, guys, that's key, and I'll comment on that in just a minute. The last one I would urge you to go out and find is this one down here, specifically from Bitcoin Magazine. And this is the, I guess, framework that Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy is putting together. to help, I guess, promote ways the government can make the United States the crypto capital of the world. And I'm actually going to click on this one. I'm not going to read all of it. I would urge you to take a look at that. It's very short. But this page in particular, establishing the United States as the global digital leader, I want you to look at something. Digital capital growth. Expand the global digital capital markets from 2 trillion to 280 trillion. Digital assets leadership. Drive growth in digital assets beyond Bitcoin from 1 trillion to 590 trillion. And then a lot of discussion lately regarding strategic Bitcoin reserves. We've already got states proposing legislation to do that. And of course, you had the Fed chair come out and say that they can't buy Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. But all that takes is Congress to pass legislation to where they can. So basically, that was a nothing burger. I think probably more of a way to drive down markets in the short term when they lowered the rates. And of course, that gives the big boys opportunity to get in cheaper. So just understand how the game is played. But again, establish a Bitcoin reserve capable of creating 16 to 81 trillion in wealth for the Treasury, providing a pathway to offset national debt. So just remember that. Because now I want to kind of take a look. And real quick, let's just take a look at Bitcoin real quick on the fiat leak. I just want to see what kind of action we're getting real quick here. And of course, nothing out of the ordinary. Just typical flow. So let's take a look at that chart real quick. And again, for those that don't know, I'll be creating another video on what these indicators really mean. But we've got basically some trend and momentum indicators and then some price action indicators here. But we'll go over that in a separate video. But wanted to look at the 4-hour chart here on Bitcoin. I will tell you that the blue is typically where we want to see it. If you get gray or green on the bottom side, it's buy area zones. If you get orange and red to the top side, that's kind of overbought zones. And then this is a trend. So you can see on that 4-hour, we did hit that trend reversal right around December 18th. It's been coming down. We did hit a green patch here, and you can see right after that green patch, bam, it bounced back a little bit. But we would not be surprised to see this continue downward a little bit further, given the momentum here is negative. So maybe some really good opportunities on Bitcoin to maybe dollar cost average in. But again, this is not financial advice. We don't give advice. We simply are sharing our journey with our viewers, and hopefully they can learn something along the way and get the right news and not a bunch of the garbage that we get from certain outlets and media and whatever messaging that they want to promote. We urge you to do your own research because the news is out there for you to see. You just got to spend the time to find it. But the reason I wanted to show you those articles over here is because lately with this pullback, and it's really not even a pullback, it's a retracement, people are freaking out. And you got to realize, you heard it from the Ripple team themselves. They have a bunch of partnerships. They have all the bank relationships. But if you go out and listen in the YouTube media, etc., you'll hear, oh, well, there's no transactions like Solana's blockchain. It's useless. It's not going to really work. But if you sit down and think about it, they're literally telling you they have the partnerships. And the reason I don't believe there's a significant number of transactions yet, because they're building the infrastructure for all this to take place. Once the legal battle with the SEC is truly over, which will be this year, they're going to go live. You got real-time payments, the FedWire, all these things that the banks are going to be rolling out and required to implement. And these banks are already positioned and poised to leverage XRP and the Ripple technology and platform. Just slow it down, think about it, stop listening to certain messaging, and I think you'll be fine. And that leads me to our motto, which is, identify, believe, trust, and execute. Identify something you can believe in, trust your gut, execute your strategy, and more times than not, you'll be fine. If you do make a mistake, learn from the mistake and move on and build that into your next strategy. But just do your own research, rely on your own thoughts, make your own actions. With that, those were some of the key articles I just wanted to share tonight, just to wrap things up for this week. We'll be coming to you with videos on the daily or every other day, based on what's out there, especially as these chart signals change. And then again, we'll put out a separate video regarding just the signals. But if you do have a certain crypto or asset you want us to put through here, you can always message us on LinkedIn at Trim Capital Partners, or make a request down in the comments below on the YouTube channel. With that, have a good night.